What's up, geniuses? Welcome back to For the Record. I'm your host, Rob Markman. You know, every week we bring you a new guest, a new conversation, new insight into the music that we all know and love. This week's guest is no different, man. He's actually one of the youngest in the game, making one of the biggest impacts, hailing from Chicago. His debut album, Die a Legend, critically acclaimed, man. There's so much depth in this album, and he's here with us today to talk about it. Polo G, man. Welcome to For the Record.
What's the word?
Everything good, man. How you doing?
Chilling, man, on this tour. Been rocking out these shows for the past little week.
That's hard. Is it everything that, because this is your first tour, this is your first headline tour, like your first major tour?
Uh-huh.
Is it everything that you thought it would be, or what were you expecting, and what are some of the things that you weren't expecting that's a part of this tour?
I mean, so far I've been everything that I thought it would be, you feel me? I'm getting a lot of crowd engagement, a lot of turn up in the shows. It's just like everything that I expected. None really like unexpected came yet.
Right. Okay, what about the preparation for it and stuff? Because it's the business side too, so you're being exposed to a lot very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything on the business side that you was like, damn, I ain't signed up for this?
No, not really. Like I said, man, everything that I expected it to be.
That's dope, man. You know, and you talk about the crowd engagement, man, and I think that's so dope, man, because I've been seeing the clips on social media, and man, I really think it's a testament to you.
Mm-hmm.
And the heart and soul that you put in your lyrics, that they give it right back to you every night, even if it's not the same. Like, everybody knows Pop Out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows Finer Things.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying? It's the other joints, you know what I'm saying? That you can go any track on the album and the crowd probably know every word to every track.
For sure.
Now, you know, look, man, this all happened kind of quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like, when did you first kind of get interested in music, though, for you?
As a kid, I always played around with music since I was like 8 or 9 years old. Like, I always knew how to make a song or put a song together. But it wasn't until I was around like 18 or 17, 18 that I started getting in the studio for the first time and playing with music. And since then, I took it serious.
Right. Then, you know, there was a shift. I mean, when Finer Things dropped, it kind of just felt like all the groundwork that you had laid prepared you for that moment, because the reaction to that song was like no other, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was it that you think about that song that really kind of attracted all this attention to you and people really getting on your side?
Finer Things was like something new. It was something like nobody ever heard. I went about it on connecting to everybody on a personal and emotional level. No matter what type of demographic you come up from, you could feel this. So I guess that's what like made everybody like feel where I was coming from.
Was that easy for you, or was that hard? You know, especially coming from Chicago, right? And we hear so many stories about your city and what goes on and what plagues your city. I feel like sometimes it might be hard to be vulnerable. Like, you might expose too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, people think they know you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Was that hard for you to be that vulnerable, or when did you really make that decision? Like, yo, if I open up, I know my music is gonna become.
It wasn't hard at all. It just naturally flowed with the music. Cause for me, music is something that's like therapeutic for me. So that's my outlet. That's my only way of expressing myself or how I'm feeling on the inside. So it just came naturally, and I know the people was gonna accept it, cause I know there's a lot of people that's going through the same things I go through.
Dope. And then, you know, picture this song off of Die a Legend. I mean, you're talking about like, I ain't even know this lifestyle exists.
Yeah.
Like, when did you realize it was real? What was the moment for you that you was like, oh, I could change not only my whole life, but I could start to change the lives of people around me? Like, was there a specific thing that happened, or a specific moment that came to fruition for you?
It was really just me like trying to speak it into existence and see it into existence, where I just take time out of my day and just daydream. And my daydream will feel so real. Like, I feel like I really have all the things that I want. I could feel the jury heavy on my chest. I could feel me hugging my mom, embracing my mama after getting her a new car, and all of them things ended up happening for real. So it was just me putting my mind to it.
That's crazy when you think about it. Like, that self-belief is really, because a lot of people might kill their own dreams with self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if you can't even picture it, like, how you gonna get from A to B if you can't even visualize it, right?
All right.
Die a Legend. Why'd you name the album Die a Legend?
It was like I was just thinking about how I want to, the mark I want to leave on the world. Not only that, the people that I lost, the mark they left on the world in my eyes, like they died legends to me. Cause you don't necessarily have to be a superstar or a rapper or a basketball player to be a legend. You could be a legend within your community. You could be a legend within your family just out of being a good person. Like anybody could die a legend. That's the point I was trying to make.
That's dope. On the album cover, I think, I say it's dope because it's relatable, because I think you're right. Like, I think we all have people in our family. It could be your cousins. They might not be the most famous person, but they made an impact on us. And when they're not gone, it really affect the family or the block or your school or your group of friends or whatever. And then you shared your album cover with 8 people. It wasn't just you on your album cover. Like, you saluted. And that was another thing that kind of felt familiar. If you come from these inner city neighborhoods, be it in Chicago, be it in LA, New York, Miami, or whatever, the concept of a mural to kind of memorialize. That's why looking at your album cover, it felt familiar. Even though we don't share the same hood, it's like, damn, that's how we honor the people that we lost. Who you want to talk a little bit about the 8 people that appeared on your cover?
Yeah, I got both of my grandmothers up there. I got a few of my childhood friends that passed away up there. I got 2 of my uncles that one of my uncle passed away to a car crash, and the other to gunfire. So that was just all people that was just like close to me, near and dear to me, that I just felt like, feel me, died legends in my book.
That's dope, man. And like I said too, I think it's things like that just attract people, like build your fan base, because people could see themselves in you. Like, it wasn't just a street thing. It was the fact that it was your grandmother as well. Like, those deaths mean just as much, if not more, to us than what's going on. Because that's really who hold the family down.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, that's real. Man, so much of the album's about to come up, in Chicago, and challenges that you faced. You grew up in Marshallfield, right? Marshallfield Gardens on North Side. How has that neighborhood changed since you left there? I know that's North Side Chicago is a ever changing thing.
Yeah, it changed drastically considering, you feel me, the gentrification that went on with the Cabrini Green housing projects. Then you got the our generation alone, the deaths that happened back and forth between us and the other side. That changed the whole culture of our side of town, whereas a lot of people don't come around no more because they don't want, or a lot of people don't come around no more because they done lost so much right there. They don't see no reason to still be in that type of space. So it changed where, as back then, everybody could come outside and just enjoy themselves, or it was just more of a family sense, but now it's all breaking apart because there's so much going on in that area.
Right. Now, man, and one of the things I really kind of admire and super respect about you is that I feel like you put it all in your music, but I feel like you really look at it from all sides. The fact, even just to be 20 years old and not to downplay your age, but to be mindful of like what gentrification does to the community, what the effect of tearing down Cabrini Green, because though you may be young, your generation experienced that.
Right.
Like, for real. What are some of the things that you think the city could do to kind of help?
The city could do to help, like,
communities, families, like on the north side.
Like more involvement within the community. Like, you feel me? Where it needs to be like more programs for the kids, because though it seemed like the older we get, the more those go away. And that's where I was just explaining, like, how back then it was more of a family sense and more innocence, and now it's all ruthless and reckless because the kids these days don't got the same opportunities we had coming up. I went and met with my school, my childhood school, and I was speaking to the kids, and they said they want no AAU team there. So what the kids doing to pass time by? Just be outside and getting into trouble. There's a lot of things that they need to do, summer jobs, things of that sort, to just keep them busy and keep them out of the streets.
Right. Nah, that's for real. I read a quote, I read an interview too, I think you did with Pitchfork, where you said like you was really into school, like just being like, even being able to just be the first one to raise your hand and have that confidence and knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like you was on your shit, be it in math and science or whatever, kind of gave you a confidence.
Yeah, like back when I was a kid, that was like something I was real big on.
That's dope, bro. On finding things too, and I'm just getting into now. I want to get into the music and again how your mind works, and a lot for the listeners because like we hear things and this is lifestyle, and this has been the soundtrack to so many people for the summer. But really into your mindset, like on finding things you talk about, I'm gonna feed the whole gang with these millions. I'm finna buy the whole hood with these millions. Again, man, it's respect and salute to you at 20 years old, even just to be spitting lyrics like that. Like we kind of see, guys like older guys like a Jay-Z or Rick Ross, you know what I'm saying, talking about buy back the block and the importance of that. But for you to even get that at your age, like why it's so important. You even came to Genius and you said that you looked into buying how much it costs to buy Marshall Field Gardens, right?
Definitely.
Talk about that, man. Where does that come from?
It's just I don't know. As a kid, for some reason, I always thought like maybe we should own this one day. Maybe this should be ours. Like instead of just being here, cause like Jay-Z even said it in the song, don't fight over the neighborhood that your mama rented or something like that sort. It's like that really ain't ours. It's only ours until they say it's not ours no more. You feel me? Or whatever the case may be. I just wanted to always be the one to stamp it, like be able to take control of the situation rather than waiting on them or waiting on what's next.
Is that a reality for you? I know you kind of talked about it. Like I looked into it. I know you said it costs like around $3 million, but is that a goal of yours? Like for real, is that something that you setting up to do to buy property in your community and to help turn things around? Or is it early for that? I don't want to put all that pressure on you neither.
No, it's something that I'm definitely shooting towards. Like that's a big goal for me to make happen.
That's super dope, man. Your little sister, man. Yo, she a star, B. Like just having her through the storm, having the video, even like in the Finer Things video as well. Like you could just see it and it just make you want to root for this little girl, man. And I know how important she is. Through the storm, you talking to my little sister phone calls through Securus. That's the jail system phone, right? How much does she and your little brother motivate you to kind of do what you do? Because I feel like that's a part of it.
It's like I see them as a sibling. I see them as my own kids too, in a way. So it's like I gotta go get it for them. I gotta make it happen for them, and I gotta set an example because I know them seeing me going hard, that's gonna make them want to chase their dream and go hard with it, whatever it is they want to do.
Have you been able to? What are some of the things? Have you been able to? Even the littlest things, like provide for them a little thing or a little opportunity or whatever that maybe you wish you had as a kid. Does it give you kind of that opportunity to?
Definitely, I look out for them every chance I get, or try to make it happen for them every chance I get, because I know how it feels to go without.
Right. Nah, that's super. It's funny, man, and again, I don't know how much of your personal life you continue putting in, and because that's a weird thing. That's your little sister. Now the whole world is familiar with her, man. But just know that on this end of the screen, when we watching the videos, it make us smile to see that little girl and how bright she shines. So I hopefully, like, I'm rooting for you because I know it's only gonna benefit her. She only gonna get kind of more opportunities, man. Lost Files, man. Talk to me about Lost Files and when you started making that record.
Lost Files, I was in New York. My A&R sent me a beat. I walked out of my hotel room and I just was rapping down the hallway, freestyling to it, and I came up with the song. I'm like, I gotta get in the studio next chance I get. I went to Chicago, laid the track, and that was that. It just the inspiration from it just came from me just thinking about like the past and everything I went through, and like basically how I'm finna turn up and make the most out of all of this, and just really work off the momentum that I had built, that I've been building up.
Do you ever feel like, I mean, because you rap, God, there was so many times could have lost my life, afforded on trial. It's like he chose me to be the one, mic in my hands, steady talking in front of them crowds. Like, do you feel chosen? Like, because it could have went another way with all the things that you was involved in, right?
I definitely feel chosen. I got it tatted on my neck, chosen one, because I feel like strong about that. Like it's a lot of people that rap in the city. It's a lot of people that want to be rappers. It's a lot of people that want to make it out of their situation. But only a select few end up getting as far as I done got. So I don't take nothing for granted. And I definitely feel like God selected me to take this path.
Right. Nah, man, that's dope. You know, one of the lyrics I love from you is when you talk about when you say masked up late night with the gang about to go purging. Used to risk it all trying to act like I ain't nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, I mean, you was obviously, like, you was involved in some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's easy to play the tough guy. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But I think everybody is human behind that mask. So you to give both sides, like, yeah, I'm out here doing this, but I'm acting like I ain't nervous. Like, it just showed a human side that I think we don't get from, we get the street shit from a lot of people in the game, but it's rare that you get that human side. Man, so I just want to salute you for that. Like, just hearing that lyric, like, right away, I was like, oh man, like, I know he's different
Right.
from everything that we've been getting, man. Do you feel who influenced you to kind of go in that direction? Like, who were you watching that felt like, yo, I could take this to another level?
I feel like that was my own way of thinking, like just wanting to tell it from a different perspective. I don't want to just tell it from the perspective of a person that's active in the streets. I want to tell it from the person on the outside looking in. Like, I want to tell it from the person who is active, but they see it from both sides. So they not just going in this one-sided, like, yeah, I'm just a savage and walk the bam. It's like, no, I'm being pressured by my community and everything that's going on around me, and this is why I'm acting this way. Because it's a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different mindsets inside of the streets. It's not just one.
Right. Now, you definitely got a plan. It shows to me like a plan too. It's like, oh, this is where I'm at right now. This is my circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how I'm gonna get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
How far removed do you feel? Do you feel like you escaped it? Like, do you feel totally free?
I definitely escaped it.
Right.
I'm still, like, you feel me, connected to it in a way because that's where I come from. I'm always be connected to it, but I definitely overcame them obstacles.
Right, that's dope. Definitely got to congratulate you too. We ain't even talk about Pop Out yet.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of the biggest songs of the summer. Like, you know,
Sure.
It's out here. I mean, Billboard hit. You know what I mean? It's funny though with that song. The song is dope, but I think it only gives such a like one side of what you're about, one side of what you do. Were you surprised that was the one that took off, or when you made it, did you know that was gonna go right away?
I knew it was a hit, but I ain't know it was gonna blow up like how it did. I ain't think of it like that. I had songs in the chamber. I'm like, this gonna be my Billboard hit. This gonna be, and then ended up being that song. I knew the song was gonna go crazy though off the hook, but I ain't know it was gonna do as much numbers as it ended up doing.
What was the one that you thought? Was it something else on the album that you thought?
It was Dying Breed. I thought that was gonna be the song that's gonna take the world by storm.
Right. But it ended up Pop Out. But it's still dope because I think you performed Dying Breed on tour?
Yeah, they always rock out to that.
So you still see kind of the appreciation, like, you know what I'm saying, for the record. That's dope. And it's not too late. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know, you start working that record, Lord knows where it go. And you and TJ and just the chemistry there, man. Talk about that a little bit, man. Like, just being a New York guy, like seeing two cats and one of them being a young cat from New York really catch a hit, man. That shit meant a lot.
That's all it was. It's like we both young. We caught that vibe. We both was arguably the hottest two in our city. Hottest young dude in Chicago, hottest young dude in New York. We come together, it was gonna be magic. You feel me?
King's Nightmare, man. Talk to me about that one a little bit.
King's Nightmare. I had made that. I set up the studio in my crib to finish my album. And I said, I'm going to finish off the album with a freestyle. I got to come hard and show him I could really rap. And I'm like, I put myself in the mindset, again, like trying to think of a different perspective from the streets instead of the person that's just active. So I just basically told it how it is, like told the truth, like most people won't touch on, or a topic a lot of people don't feel the need to touch on.
Nah, yeah, I mean, yeah, right away, like spitting verses, I'm desperate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just showing people, spitting verses, I'm desperate. I need a mansion in the coop. You done signed over your life. Now you slaving in the booth. Now we hang ourselves with chains they used to make us rock a noose. Like kind of the double metaphors and the double meanings that you're going on is crazy. How when you say slaving in the booth, like is there pressure that you feel, or was that just strictly wordplay? Like where was you going with that? Like since you signed the deal and now there's a lot expected of you, right?
It's a little bit of both, like wordplay and there's the literal. You feel me? Like a lot of artists. Well, some artists can get swayed into a bad deal where they overexerting themselves or being pushed to their limits to make sure that this label, you feel me, reap the benefits of their hard work. So,
but you got a different strategy, and I feel like a lot of artists in this era, we get a lot of music from a lot of artists in a very short amount of time. And I feel like compared to the other artists in your peer group, I feel like you more slow cooking. Like you know, where somebody might drop, 10 songs, like you might do one and let it really hit you and let that marinate. Again, where does that confidence come from? Because I'm sure the pressure, I'm sure there's somebody at some point who suggested you, you got to do more. You got to put out more.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be like that. The fans I could drop an album today, they want a new one tomorrow. So I'm like, man, chill. You gotta let this like flow, cause I'm not the type of person that'll go in the studio and make 20 songs and end up liking 3 of them. Everything that I want, like I'm intentional in whatever I make inside of the studio, and I'm writing all my verses out so it's well thought out. So you hear that in the song, it's storytelling. Everything go cohesively. So I just take my time with everything that I do so it can be what it is.
And again, that's different too. And it's not me downplaying nobody else, but so many times often you'll hear artists just like, yo, it's just a vibe. I just go in the studio and the first thing that comes to my mind is kind of what I put out. But you talking about being more intentional with your words and with your art. Nah, man, that's super dope. And then, I mean, how important is the actual rap? Because you use a lot of melody too. And I think I like to say you get to the heart of the matter. You know what I'm saying? But you was talking about on King's Nightmare that you really just wanted to go in there and rap. And sometimes I argue, I'm obviously older than you and from a different generation. And sometimes I look at the game now and I'll be like, maybe rap, like the actual rapping part, isn't as important as it always was. So, and that's not a good or a bad thing. It's just a thing. But you talking about you want to go in there and rap on King's Nightmare. How important is the actual rapping aspect for you still?
Because that's seeing it more of from a MC standpoint. Like, I'm a rapper, but I'm not one-sided. I'm not in one lane. I want to show them I got versatility. I got the ability to do everything as a real artist. Like, I don't just want to leave myself boxed into a harmonize or a melody single or whatever the case may be. I want to show them I'm capable of doing everything.
Dying Breed, man, you talked about Dying Breed being like the one that you really thought. I mean, another lyric from here that's dope, took so many losses, where I thought the hood was cursed, started off with nothing, had to get the shit from the dirt, and life been better now, but I'm still expecting the worst. Again, it's this vulnerability, right, where I feel like I want to celebrate you. I'm happy when I hear you talking about the Calabasas and the beds of Calabasas. It's like, oh shit, his life done changed because we know what it was. Do you still kind of expect the worst? Like in the back of your mind, are you still just waiting for something to go wrong? Like, is that the reality?
Not necessarily waiting for something to go wrong, but you just basically expect the worst from a standpoint of, like I said, I still got connection on where I'm from. So it's like I live out in California, Calabasas, but I still got homies in the hood that's still liable to lose their life or go to jail at any point in time. Like, them certain things like that still don't change until you really at that level where you can make that vast, that big, you feel me, big change in your community like that. Until then, the same thing still going on in the hood.
Yeah, so you can still get that call or that.
Exactly.
Nah, I feel you, man. But it's your first album. It's funny, how you could change your life and then this opportunity could change for everybody else. Have you thought about, because I feel like you so beyond your years, like you talk about buying property and stuff like that. Are you signing artists? Are you looking at signing artists? Are you looking at building a empire as well? I know it's just your first album, but I just want to see where your mind was at with that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking into signing artists. I've been looking into it heavy as of lately. That's really one of my main focuses right now is just making sure, you feel me, a lot of people with the same background as me get heard. So
That's super dope, man. And then also on the album, man, you're very open. You're open and honest about everything, but about drugs. You know what I'm saying, and how they kind of affect you and the ups and downs and all that. How you doing with that? You know what I'm saying? I know you also just had your son. You know what I'm saying, and you talked about you was gonna back away from the addictions and stuff like that. How's that working out for you?
been going good lately. I've been, you feel me, just staying clean, doing these shows, you feel me, just staying focused. That's just the biggest thing, just staying focused.
Dope. That you also went on social media, talked about this near death experience a couple weeks ago. Is everything all right? I just want to make sure you cool, man, and you saluted your pops for holding you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything been cool since then. I've been chilling.
All right. Nah, man, just want to make sure you're all right, man. Like I said, I think you know it's special, man, when you hear your music, and I think every generation you get these type of artists. Like, it kind of reminds me of how I felt when I first started to hear Jeezy or something like that, because you heard the lifestyle and there was no denying the lifestyle. But like I said, you get to the heart of the matter. I felt like he got to the heart of the matter. And there's a number of artists like that. But in this generation, to kind of see you emerge like that, man, is super refreshing. And, I think it makes us want to root for you in a major way. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everything you doing, man, and want to wish you luck in everything you got going on, man, because I think there's 20 more years of Polo G ahead of us, if not more. Is whatever you want to make it right now. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Cool. Lastly, man, before I get you out of here, man, I do this with every guest. I want to know if you're down. I always ask every guest to spit a verse, but not one of yours. Something from maybe an artist you was a fan of, man. Is there a verse that comes to mind that
I'm
inspires you?
I'm trying to think. I know it's a Wayne verse for sure. Let me see. Young Money Millionaire, fresher than Nigerian. I don't know how the song goes.
Oh, Millie?
Yeah, Millie. I like that Wayne verse because it's like when I was a shorty, that's the first song I had memorized. Like I just rap that like it's my own song and keep on rapping that all day long. And I was catching the metaphors and little simile he had in there as a kid. So I was a big Wayne head as a kid.
Were you writing at that point?
Yeah, I was writing songs. I had wrote my first song around that time. And that was like what I got my inspiration from. Just my mama play all the Wayne tapes all day long. So it's like, I just sit up there and watch BET Jams and MTV Jams all day, and his song could keep on coming on.
That's hard. Your parents were young too, so your parents you grew up with hip hop around the house.
Yeah, they was big on hip hop music. 50 Cent, Gucci Mane, Lil Wayne. So that's what the influence rubbed off on me at.
That's super dope, man. I always wonder what that would be like. My parents was more like the Isley Brothers and things like, you know what I'm saying, before hip hop, which was fine too. That's where we got all the samples from.
For sure.
But I always thought it was cool. My mom used to walk around the house rapping Biggie shit, so she was like cool. But I always thought what it would be like to have some cool ass parents who just had all the mixtapes and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I came up off of.
That's dope, man. Well, yo, I definitely appreciate you, man. I know you out here on this road. I know you working every night. So for you to come by and stop by Genius and just to have this chat, man, it don't go underappreciated, man. And like I said, we rooting for you. You welcome back anytime.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? Polo G, the legend. All right, man. Yo, thanks for checking us out this week. We're going to be back next week. Hit us in the comments, man. I want to know what your favorite Polo G song is and your favorite lyric. I'm going to be in the comments with y'all. I'm going to comment right back with y'all, man. We're going to have a real discussion. Till next week, this is For the Record. Peace.